Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, uh, yeah. Yeah, it's your boy E-Man. Falcons Fandemic, we on that plan. All the hype in the city, let me break it down. Atlanta Falcons, wear the crown. Cruising down Peachtree in my Falcons gear. Pockets on the speakers, E-Man's here. Covering the news, all the buzz on the block. Fandemic family, yeah, we can't be stopped, yeah.
Family, welcome to a pop-up show, Atlanta Falcons Fandemic. I didn't want to schedule it because it seems like in the past, every time I try to schedule a show, something got in the way, whether it was work or uh, just life periods, things happening. Everybody want me to do something. I want somebody else to do something. So I decided to do a pop-up show right before the game and talk about this debacle of a game that we had yesterday. There are a lot of opinions as to what went wrong, what went right, and what, like I said, what went wrong. Mostly what went wrong. Now, there are some things that a lot of people are not considering. When I know a lot of people's feelings got involved, and saying what should happen and what need to happen going forward. But I'm gonna give everybody a chance to jump in here, voice their comments, uh, and that sort of thing. But guys, welcome to Atlanta Falcons Pandemic Pop-Up Show. We're gonna just before the game, we're gonna stay for a little while and get everybody's opinion on I hear you, William. I hear you. But get everybody's opinion on what happened yesterday. I consider a lot of things that are like happening behind the scenes too. So, but here recently we fired a coach, right? And it's not just really a coach. Well, he is a coach, but he's a coordinator. And it just surprises me that where the blame is being placed, right? Last season we placed the blame on Jimmy Lake, with very good reason. But I want you guys' opinion as to where should the blame be. I mean, there are plenty of blame to go around, but where should it be? We came in with the anticipation, like right now, most of us thought this thing we were going to be at least at this point 2-1, right? And like myself, man, 2-1 wasn't a bad achievement. We could very well have accomplished that. But with the anticipation, everybody thought we were going to be at least 2-1, but a 30-0 loss to a winless Carolina Panthers. Now, granted, like I said, any given Sunday, anything can happen. Appreciate you joining in, Mr. William. William Amos in the building, y'all. But like I said, any given Sunday, any team can win. But when you're facing a team that's like Carolina, who borderline in rebuilding, with a offensive coordinator who, and granted, everybody deserved their shot, but Carolina Panthers offensive coordinator is hanging on by his with his job. I mean, by a shoestring. I mean, literally by a shoestring. You talking about no correlation between the head coach, the administration, and the offensive coordinator. They're probably in the worst position as we are now, as the way it looks. Right. But there are many unanswered questions as to what happened. We saw things from the run game being suspect, outside of Bijan. Bijan ran a good game, very good game. From what it looks like, we were well on the way of establishing our identity. But where is that identity? Where is it? But guys, I mean, it was a tough loss. One hard pill for me to swallow. I live out here in Douglasville, right? Douglasville, Georgia. Shout out to Douglasville, Georgia. Now, I had no idea we even had Carolina Panthers fans out here until Sunday. Up until then, I thought we were all Cowboys. Oh, that was a bad taste coming out. Dallas Cowboys, Saints, and Tampa Bay and Falcon fans. We got a few Eagles fans out here that represent, but we never seen Carolina Panthers fans out here in Douglasville, Georgia. But And we're not really the sticks. We're not really the sticks. We're growing. But anyway, but not all was lost. Not all was lost. I'm as you can see, I'm a Hurricane fan, Miami Hurricane fan. Shout out to them bull pups that let go Carson Beck. And guys, don't jump on me. I like them Bulldogs too. You know, they're my second team. I like the Georgia Bulldogs too. But to heart, I'm a Hurricane fan. And Carson Beck actually looks good. I think he's going to have this team where he should have been with the with the Bulldogs. But you know, sometimes all it takes is a different situation that brings out the best in a person. And Carson Beck seems to be right at home with us over here at these Canes 305, baby. But anyway, back to the harsh reality of these fans. I mean, of the Falcons. We need to address this elephant in the room, right? With the way that we came out, the way that we look, even on the onset, you have to address the elephant in the room in Raheem Morris. And hey, shoot me, because I was on board and bringing Raheem Morris on board for several reasons. I'm not even gonna get into those reasons because, like I said, I wanted to keep this show short. But you know, Raheem Morris, I thought he would fill the void that we were needing. I really did. Because when he was here as a defensive coordinator, he was that guy on the sideline, that coordinator. What's up, T-Terry? What's happening with you? Raheem Morris was that guy that I thought, hey, he could get this team together. And at the very least, he'll have everybody bought in on a plan that we could see coming to fruition, right? And that's like the start of a rebuild of any team, right? Getting everybody bought in on the plan, everybody coming in, doing their part, and see that this plan becomes successful. And that's Raheem. He did that. I mean, he had everybody from the mail room to the towel boy bought in, dialed in on this plan of building into this Atlanta culture, building a new winning culture here in Atlanta. And he did that. He got everybody. I mean, when you interviewed everybody from content creators to people from the mass media, they all had the same thing to say about Raheem Morris. He has a plan that everybody is dialed in on. But now, after Sunday, I'm wondering, is he in over his head? I really do. I mean, granted, he had a reason to point the finger at Jimmy Lake. We all saw it happen and play out on national TV. Everybody saw it. The defense failed lacking. So, they pointed the finger at Jimmy Lake. Jimmy Lake is now no longer with us. We surely appreciate the time he spent here, but he's no longer with us. In comes Jeff Albrecht. Terry Fontenot goes into the draft, grab what Albrecht's need. Lo and behold, boom, we have a defense. Now, seemingly after last season, last 4 games of the season, we saw all kind of promise from Michael Penix. We saw all kind of promise. We saw it. Everybody saw it. That was the one thing. If we didn't have nothing else to talk about, we talked about those last 4 games. Those last 4 games had us not even looking at what Kirk Cousins did in the games prior. We kind of like threw what he did out the window and was like, hey, we got Michael Penix. We got the guy that we want at quarterback, lead this team. So here we come, fast forward to Sunday. What happened? What happened? Now, I'm going to address one situation before I get into this thing that happened at the very end of the game. And that one incident at the very end of the game had me forget about the whole game and had me focus on Raheem Morris being the head coach going forward. I don't know if everybody paid attention to it, but it's all over media, all over podcasts, all over the social posts. Raheem Morris, at the end of the game, goes over to shake hands with the head coach of Carolina Panthers. And he has this grin, almost of a laugh, on his face. Now, I don't know how many of you guys played football or coached, but if I go in and I lose a game, whether it's 1 point, 30 points. I lose a game. I'm not a sore loser. But if I lose, I am not happy. I'm not having a grin on my face like Raheem Morris did. That's the absolute last thing. Now, granted, he's on a national stage. I give you that. But I am not happy at the outcome of this, especially a 30-point loss to a team that is not well put together. Now, I know it's next man up when you come to talking about, let's say, in football, but at the same time, the Carolina Panthers are hurt. I mean, they are hurt worse than we are when it comes to this in the trenches. They are hurt on defense. They are hurt on offense. They got a very young quarterback like what we got. They got a head coach who, I don't think he even know what he's doing over there, but an offensive coordinator who, I'm telling you, they are ready to hammer this guy. They want him gone. But we lose 30 points to a team that's not well put together at all, on paper or otherwise. Yes, they got Bryce Young, they got T-Mac over there, McMillan, they got him. They got Xavier Legette. Legette didn't even play. And we still lost by 30 points. You have to look at it. You have to wonder, where was our game preparation at? Now, let's go into another incident that happened. The headset issue. Come on, guys. You talking about things that should be taken care of way even before preseason. Now, granted, incidents happen. Yes, I give you that. I give you that. Things happen. But it should not be an excuse. That one little incident with the headset was enough to hamper anything that you had going on. It was enough. Now, granted, you had 4 quarters to correct it. Yes, but you had 4 series to correct a headset issue. What happened to going back to sending a player in with the play? What happened to game planning? If the defense is doing this is what we're going to do. If the defense is doing that, this is what we're going to do. It's a no-brainer. If you're having that much of a problem and it's hindering any kind of progress that you're having on the field, what happened to bringing your behind out of that booth to the field? You don't even have to walk anymore. They have golf carts that are coming to get you out of that booth and bring you down to the field. So it took you 4 series to correct a headset issue. We saw this happening in the Minnesota game last week. We saw how much of a problem that was for Penix to get the play into the huddle and the players to react. But a 30-point loss is very unacceptable. And then you have the nerve to go over, like Mr. T is saying, to go over and laugh, and not really laugh, but have a grin on your face that's like, okay, this was just another game. Yes, it is just another game, but it's another divisional game that we need. We've already lost 1 divisional game. Here we are, we're losing another. We cannot lose another one. The way that this looks now, it can have a significant impact going into the playoff. At this point, I'm not even optimistic about it, to be truthful. Last week we had 5 field goals get kicked with a gimme touchdown at the end of the game. We had 5 field goals get kicked. If Minnesota had scored two touchdowns, they would have won that game. Because we did absolutely nothing to stop that. Now, granted, the defense played one heck of a game. We did one heck of a game. You couldn't act no better from the defense. But what happened this week? The defense did what they were supposed to do. Granted, we did lose by 30. The defense stood up. But how long are we expecting the defense to hold up? It goes back to Matt Ryan. How long do you expect the defense to hold up? All good defense is going to falter at some point. They're going to give up a few points. But I don't know, guys. I mean, y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. I can't explain it. But I'm gonna throw a question at you guys. Are we still looking at this team seriously thinking about going into the playoffs? I mean, realistically looking at it Sunday, this is a whole new level of bad. I mean, I get it, but this is. I mean, I don't get the win. I mean, I don't get the loss, but the performance. Are you going to perform at top level every game? No. But there are just some games, guys. There are just some games you just don't lose. Now, people want to say, well, Michael Penix is a rookie quarterback. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. That's not an excuse anymore. Yeah, he's still learning the system, but when you look at last season, 4 games tells you Michael Penix is ready for this offense. He's ready to be let loose. Our coaching is what holding this team back. What's going on, brother? That old cousin Charles, Mr. Charles Burgess in the building. He says clean house. He says clean house. Now, granted, realistically, is that going to happen? No. And even if they did do that, let's just say they do go in and clean house. What's the contingency plan? Does that mean we're going to throw away the rest of the season and say, okay, this is the reason why we can't win because we went in and clean house? But that's why I say we have to address the elephant in the room in Raheem Morris, because now he had an excuse last season and he blamed Jimmy Lake. And this season he comes in and now he has the reason to point the finger at another offensive coordinator. I mean, you can say he's an offensive coordinator, another coordinator, wide receivers coach, and Isaac Hill. I mean, and I hear you. And I feel the frustration for all the fans. At what point will enough really be enough? I feel the frustration. I've been a fan since 1978. And yeah, I want to crash out, guys. Trust me, I want to crash out. To your point, I mean, I really do. But right now, I'm kind of numb to the fact that how we're looking on the field. It's not that I expect us to look this bad, but at the same time, when you have a team built like this, like I said, I've been a fan since 1978, and we have never, ever, and when I say never, I mean ever, even on paper, look like we do now. And I'm not talking about performance-wise. I'm talking about with players at every position that can give us what we need to go further into the season. And I'm not just talking about divisional wins. I'm talking about NFC. I'm talking about and contend for the Super Bowl. We have never ever looked this. I mean, we got running back. We not only have one running back. We don't only have 2. We got 3 running backs that can do what we need to do. We got 8 receivers that we can put in at any given time that can give us what we need. We don't have every lineman that we need, but at the same time, these guys are playing together. And people were saying, well, what happened to the passing game yesterday? And ultimately, that's probably why Ike Hilliard is gone. He's the receivers coach. He's to blame. But let's not forget, these are the same receivers, the same coaches that we had at the end of the season last year. These are the same people. So what happened between then, preseason, to now? What happened? What happened to Daryl? Appreciate you joining me, fam. So what happened between last season, preseason, and now? You cannot tell me that much has changed. There's no way. No way. I heard a comment earlier. I was on another podcast, and someone said that Ike Hilliard may have changed how the receivers respond. That's not even possible, guys. If you have an offensive coordinator in place, you have a head coach in place, you're supposed to get together and get this game plan before the season even starts. So you mean to tell me 1, 2, and 3 games, Ike Hilliard was going to come in and say, hey, instead of doing this, I want you to do this? No way. You mean to tell me 1, 2, and 3 practices and Ike Hilliard was going to be able to say, hey, instead of doing this, I want you to do that on this route, on this play. I want you to do this. Hey, there's no way. He doesn't have enough time to do that. We were just plain old unprepared. Out coach was the least of it. Like Daryl says here, very poor coaching staff, quality players. We have elite players, guys. We have elite players, not just quality. Any player that we have on this team, another team would love to have. Any receiver, any running back, any skill player that we have, if we cut them right now, they will be immediately picked up. I really don't get it. I don't understand what this coaching staff. I'm not going to say the coaching staff. I don't understand what Raheem Moore's agenda is. Nobody does anymore. Nobody understands it anymore. Everybody is wondering, like, what are we doing now? I mean, like me, I don't trust Raheem anymore. I just don't. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna resonate through the fan base. That's gonna resonate through the players, his other coaches that he have on board with him. Nobody's gonna trust him anymore. So at this point, the fans don't trust him. The players don't trust him. His coordinators now, after pointing the fingers at Ike Hilliard, his coordinators don't trust him. So what's left? We have the organization. Terry Fontenot and our owner, they're going to no longer trust him either. So what's left? Is it realistically they're going to fire Raheem Morris by the bye week or anytime during this season? Daryl says, good coaches don't lose games like this. Nothing good in this game except the clock ended our debacle. True indeed. And you know why he's saying that? Because we didn't make no adjustments in that game to change the outcome. Absolutely none. If we were going to change anything, we were going to have Penix go back to being Penix. When I say we, the Falcons coaching staff, we hindered that man's process. I don't know if y'all paid attention to it, but when the plays came into the huddle, when he finally gets to play, when the plays came in, I'm not going to say he always did it, but there were a few times where he looked back at the sideline as to say, oh, really? He did it more so in the game in Minnesota. You guys need to go back and watch that game and pay attention to his demeanor. Michael Penix's demeanor when the plays came into the game. When the players came into the huddle. Pay attention to it. Watch his body language. Watch the look on his face. He looks back at the sideline as to say, oh, really? This is what we doing? Yes, we managed to beat Minnesota, but it was by kicking field goals. We still could not get into the into the end zone. I don't understand our offense. Now I'm a defensive guy, but I know enough to say that our offense is far better than this. Terry says Morris fired the wide receiver coach, using him as a scapegoat. Now he blaming himself. Be a man and say it's me. That won't happen. In a perfect world, that probably would happen. But Raheem Morris is never going to get on that podium and say, yeah, I've been the problem all along. He's not going to do that. That's not him. No, I don't. Realistically, I've only known one coach in history that ever did that. Now he's coaching. His name is escaping me, guys, but the former head coach for the Seattle Seahawks. He's coaching the Raiders now. His name is escaping me. Y'all help me out. But he's the only coach I have ever seen go on that podium and say, I was the problem. And he flipped that. And end up being a contending team in Seattle. But you're not going to hear that from every coach. That's exactly the point right there, cousin. These guys have to be coached, not their friend. And truth be told, that's how Zach Robinson got his head coaching. Got his coordinating job. He pointed the finger at Ike when the problem is with him and Zach Robinson. People say, well, Zach Robinson, this is his first year offensive coordinator. But guys, when you consider the playbook that Zach Robinson has, where he came from, right now it's like he's coaching out the back of that playbook. But when you consider the track record of that playbook that Zach Robinson has, look at it. Who has it? The Eagles, 49ers. Of course, we got it. The Rams, the Chargers. They are using this playbook to almost, I'm not going to say perfection, because, you can still lose with it, yes. But like I said, you could take a loss, but it's how you look losing. Doesn't make sense. Somebody make it make sense to me. But that brings us back to the question, are we seriously considering this team to be a playoff team? And once you lose that level of trust as a head coach, here you are losing to an 0-2 Panthers team. Now, guys, I get it. Like they say, any given Sunday. But an 0-2 Panthers team is different than losing to an 0-2 Chiefs. Right? Let's be honest. There's a huge difference. The Panthers are hurting in every phase of the game. Even at coaching. Every phase of the game. Even special teams. You have to call it for what it is, guys. We went into that game not prepared at all. And ultimately, that falls on the head coach. At the way we looking, guys, you cannot blame nobody but the head coach. Even Zach Robinson have to take a little bit of blame, but the head coach ultimately takes the fall for how we look at this point in the season. Now, I get the game against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a stout team. They are well coached. They have very good players. And Tampa Bay is a handful for any team. I get that. I can take that. Matter of fact, when I did my season prediction, I actually put in my head that we were actually going to beat Tampa Bay coming out. But Tampa Bay came out well prepared. From the helmet issues to the play calling to special teams to the kicking game, The only thing we have to really like brag on right now, I'm not say brag on, but that we have the positive to talk about is the offensive line and the defense. The two areas where we went into the offseason fixing. Now we thought coming out of the season last year, where we seemingly had a playoff caliber team, to a team wondering where we're going with our offense. Where's our identity? Zach Robinson came in trying to establish a run, and it didn't do so well against Tampa Bay. But you also had I ain't gonna say new offensive line, but you had to change your scheme. I get that because you were missing a player, Caleb McGarrett. So you had to change it up a little bit. You had to add a tight end. You had to go double tight end sets, but still, at all costs, you establish your identity, which is the run game. And your run game opens up for Michael Penix's arm. It's that simple, guys. It's really not that hard. Any offensive coordinator will come in and would love to have this team. Charles said, I'm with you. I don't trust him. You are exactly right. Nothing has changed. And come right behind him, Charles also agrees that once you lose the locker room, it is done. So have we gotten that far? Have we lost our locker room? The coaching. Here we are. We're still talking about coaching. We're not talking about what players are not doing. We're not talking about injuries that have plagued the team. Everything so far this year, that has happened bad revolves around coaching. Our next man up has filled in. We had concerns about Elijah Wilkinson playing offensive tackle. We had concerns about him. The man is playing lights out. He's filling in very well. We had concerns about injuries. It doesn't seem to have affected us. At least I haven't seen it. Not, the things that have affected us is performance, preparation. Now, we had a lot of people saying that preseason is the reason why the lack of play in preseason is why we don't look as good as we should have. It plays a part in it, yes, a huge part. Because if you prepare well, you usually end up with good results if you prepare well. Now, we weren't the only team to not play our starters in the preseason. We weren't the only team. But it goes back to coaching. Our players were ready to play, or are ready to play, where coaching is not. Didn't prepare well at all. So Zach, and this brings us to Zach Robinson. He's a young play caller with a very young quarterback, rookie quarterback. But there's no cohesion from one series to the next in your play calling. And like I said, I get it. But like I said, no cohesion, no chemistry, no scheme. It seems like you're just out there calling plays, just flipping through the playbook, calling plays. And you were playing it safe on Sunday. No pass from Penix went past 15 yards. Everything was under 10 yards. I even give you better than I give you 15 yards. No pass went past 15 yards. There was no shot down the field. Everything you threw were safe, like you were trying to figure out something. And I mean, as a first-year coordinator, you playing against teams that are coming for you, and they're going to test you. I mean, it seems like right now you're not building off of anything. You see a great run by Bijan, and you think, okay, now it's time for some play action. And then, nope, a predictable shotgun right in the heart of the defense. Right straight to the defense. It's literally frustrating to watch. Like I said, I'm a defensive guy. Our offense has to start carrying its own weight. The defense is only going to last for so long. They're not going to come out with the stellar performance like we saw against Minnesota. But 3 touchdowns in 3 weeks is totally unacceptable, guys. That's unacceptable for a offense that's as talented as we are. The lack of in-game adjustments, the predictability. I mean, everybody's figured you out. You got fans in the stands calling out your plays before you call them out, before you send it to the huddle. I mean, we can't even blame the fans this time. Over the year, we blame the organization, we blame the coaching, we blame the fans, we blame the player personnel. What's left, guys? Common denominator. What's left? But at some point, Zach Robinson has to take the training wheels off, and we should have done that coming into the season. We should have came into the season proving a point. We are the Falcons, and we're coming for what we deserve. Daryl says, I'm with you. I don't trust him. We're exactly what we need. Nothing has changed. I read that comment already, didn't I? I hit the wrong one. But didn't run, he says, didn't run Bijan near enough. Offensive line is good, not nearly as good as we've heard all year. I want a first round lineman drafted next year. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the direction we head into. We do need to bring in a couple of linemen. One, Caleb McGarry. I think this is his 3rd time being hurt. Jake Matthews not getting any younger. And we do have a capable lineman there already. But he's a season away from being ready, I think. I think it won't take much for him to be here. But going back to this offense, guys. Zach Robinson offense is truly stagnant. I mean, I've given his lack of production, and it seems like we can just march up and down the field when we want to. We do that. We march up and down the field. But the closer we get to that 20-yard line, it seems like the offense stalls out. The Falcon zone of failure. That's what I've called it, giving it name to. Now people say, well, we get 3 points out of it. Guys, come on. Let's be real. This is a game of football, game of touchdowns. Right? But that's the interesting fact that I pointed out in another podcast on the game yesterday. We did not get to the Carolina Panthers 30-yard line at all. At all. And Carolina did not play. Their defense wasn't that good. It was our lack of production, lack of play calling that kept us from getting to that 30-yard line. Carolina was not that good. They didn't do anything to keep us from getting to that 30-yard line, their 30-yard line. We faced far better defenses. Daryl says, no misdirection plays. Same old screen play that never worked. I can call the Falcons next play 90% of the time. And most fans can, Daryl. Most fans can. And I'm not taking nothing from the ladies, because the ladies, there are some ladies that know football. Shout out to the ladies of Falcon football. There are some fans out there, some ladies that know, and they're calling plays before Zach Robinson are calling them. They're calling his plays, pre-calling their plays. They're the ones, and you guys have to be there. They're in the stadium. I mean, these ladies, they shouting and carrying on, they screaming, cheering, as everybody are. But once that play comes in, we line up. They know exactly what we're doing. It seems like they deflate like a balloon. They sit back down. They're like, you got to be kidding me. Because they know what's about to happen. It feels like the air gets sucked out of the stadium, out of the offense, the moment that play comes in. This week, guys, we didn't even see the red zone. The offense just disappeared. I don't get it. I don't get it. We have that team. Penix, not Penix, Pitts should have had a field day. Pitts had a field day against Carolina the last time we played. Drake London had a field day the last time we played. And when you talk Drake London, they didn't have an answer for him at all. They didn't have an answer for him at all. Last season, we went back-to-back plays to Drake London, the same play, and scored twice. The same defender and scored twice. You guys remember, I think the first time they said that Drake London, when he landed out of bounds. So what we do, we came back, lined up again, same play, SOS, same play, same defender on Drake London, went back to the same play, same results. I mean, we get inside the 20, and suddenly, I mean, it's like 3 straight runs, no gain. They're obviously passing down and go nowhere. Where's all the play action? The slants to Drake London, the screens to Bijan Robinson that we know work. The defense knows what's coming, and we're handing them a field goal. Or should I say an attempt? Because nowadays it seems like that's all it is, an attempt, because we're missing them. We have this explosive offense, but can't do anything once we get inside the red zone. And this is not all solely on Zach Robinson, because these failures in the end zone goes even into Matt Ryan days. I think the last time we were a plus 50 was when Michael Vick was here. That was the last time. I mean, I don't get it. I really don't get it. The red zone offense, we have all the weapons in the world to be more productive in the red zone. Where's all this explosiveness that we have? Kyle Pitts. These guys don't have an answer for Kyle Pitts. The linebacker core for Carolina consists of a guy who's borderline on a cane and 2 rookies. Those guys should not have been able to contain Kyle Pitts, Drake London, or even Darnell Mooney. I really don't get it. I mean, we went from one of the most explosive groups in football to a timid, conservative group. No one. I mean, I'm thinking everybody's like scratching their head right now, to be honest with you. But we've completely failed. This is actually fair. People say, man, calm down. It's just the 3rd week. No. That's how losers look at it. It's just the 3rd week. Like I said, I can take a loss, but it's how we look going forward. This is not, I'm pretty sure there's nobody in the NFL, nobody commentating, analyst, content creator, nobody predicted this bad of a start as far as how we look. Nobody. Like I said, we could take a loss. There are some that might say, hey, I predicted us going 1-2. But did you predict that we would look this bad at 1-2? Terry says, Morris, no TJ Yates is not an wide receivers coach. You should have hired one of the Falcons' old wide receiver players like Roddy White, Sanu, or Rising. And this is what gets me about TJ Yates, right? He's been with the organization for a while, and he's bounced around from one coordinator position to the other. And now we've made him a receiver coach. He just got the quarterback's coach. Literally just got it. So we're going to move him out of that position and put him at the wide receivers coach. So who's the quarterback coach now? And when I say TJ Yates just got the position, he was just appointed quarterback's coach this season, coming into this season. Now, granted, there may be some quarterbacks out there that can help out a receiving core. They do know the routes. They do where receivers are supposed to be when the ball is thrown, that sort of thing. But what is this telling your coordinators? What kind of message are you sending to the players? This plan that you came in with is falling by the wayside, piece by piece. You saw your defense fall apart first, so you got rid of your defensive coordinator. Now you're seeing your kicking game fall apart. We don't have one anymore. People say, well, the wind took that one first kick and he made it, the second one, but he just plain on missed the second one. He hooked it, but this didn't just happen Sunday. We were having kicking problems back last season, along with Kirk Cousins and his interceptions. We were also having kicking problems. So here we are back at coaching again, and your decision, you bring in a guy from across seas who's kicking lights out. He's kicking 70-yard field goals. Granted, they're straight up. But he's kicking 70-yard field goals, and you don't bring him in on the squad. Now, first of all, here's another one. You sign this player, and you sign him to a 3-year deal. I forgot the amount, but you sign him to a 3-year deal. And you're talking about a player who does not count against your 53-man roster. Why wouldn't he be here on this team? That means he could be here in the win. Now he's on the on the practice squad. Yes, we still have access to him. Yes, but why is he not on this team? You know, Koo was suspect, but it took him missing key field goals for you to get rid of Koo. Koo was a problem even before the season started. Koo was a problem last year when he missed those field goals. But as a coach, you have to realistically say, "Hey, Koo, we love you. We appreciate what you've done here, but we're going to roll into a different direction. I got a guy, I'm not going to say this to him, but I got a guy that can kick 70-yard field goals." And did it consistently. Now, granted, Lenny Craig, I'm not going to say he was suspect when he had to kick from the hash marks, but he was good. He beat out Koo in the kicking competition. I wasn't there at the camp, but from what I've been told from other content curators, Lenny Craig beat Koo in the kicking competition. What's going on, LA? Welcome to the channel, man. Don't worry, we suck too, huh? Shout out to those Tennessee Titans. They're rebuilding too, so but appreciate you joining me there, Mr. LA. Appreciate you. But this goes back to coaching. And not just coaching, but the coaching decisions. I really don't get it. Techo, appreciate you driving me, brother. Don't worry, it was all like Ike Hilliard's fault. Don't worry, it was all Ike Hilliard's fault. Oh boy. Well, seemingly so. After we don't fire them, right? He's taking the blame. I don't see how it was all his fault, but apparently they say that it was his fault. They forget Ike Hilliard was here last season. He was here for Drake London. He was here for Darnell Mooney. He was here for Ray McLeod. He was here for Casey Washington. And if you guys paid attention to it, He's the one that actually brought out Chris Blair. He discovered Chris Blair. He went and got Chris Blair. And who's no longer on this team? Chris Blair. To me, a lot of people would have been a couple of receivers would have been expendable dealing with Chris Blair. He would have been on this team. I don't know if he would have been receiver 4, 5, or 6, but he would have definitely been on this team. Hey, appreciate you joining me there, Daryl. I appreciate you. But he would have definitely been on this team. But like I said, it goes back to coaching. You're the ultimate say-so on who you want to keep on this team and who you don't want to keep. And the thing it is, Chris Blair, there was no contract issue with him. He wasn't like no contract hit. So why is he on this team? I don't know. John, appreciate you joining me, brother. He says Morris covering his butt, firing one coach and moving to 2 coaches to field and receiver coach. But Mr. Blank put the coaching staff on notice. This team has too much talent to get blown out. And I agree. Way too much talent. And if you look at this team, a lot of people may not agree, but when you look at this team on paper, there shouldn't be a defense in the league. I don't care if they're the top defense, number 1 defense. There should not be a defense in the league that can stop our team. We have weapons on every corner, backfield. Tight end. We have it all. We're just not using them. Who does that fall on? Again, coaching. I think if you bring in any other offensive coordinator, they'll be ecstatic to have a team like this. Most teams don't have 8 receivers at their disposal that they can put in at any given time. And truth be told, before we start making our roster cuts, we had 12. We had 12 receivers that could have been on this team. And if all 12 could have played special teams, we would have had 12 receivers at our disposal. We definitely got 3 running backs. We probably got the best running back core in the league. I ain't gonna say probably, we do. We do. Up until this season, I was real skeptical about letting Tyler Algier go. But when you start talking football and reality, there's the chance that we may lose him. And that was one thing that I feared. But when we found Nathan Carter, I would be surprised we're able to keep him now. At the way we're calling plays. He may be wanting out. Now, legit. Now, he hasn't played a game, but you see the potential there. You see it. You saw it at the end of the game last Sunday. And when you talk about Zach Robinson and his play calling, how in the world an undrafted running back, Nathan Carter, come in and get more touches than Tyler Algier? Tyler Algier only had 1 carry. Why we were trying to make Tyler Algier out of this bona fide receiver out of the backfield, I don't know. Granted, he can catch out of the backfield, but that's not the game that you was trying to establish. That's not the identity you're trying to establish. I don't get it. Teco says, this coaching staff is starting to look ridiculous. Cool, a guy, and I know Ike. A lot of people are sharing that same sentiment, guys. At first, it seems like we have a very good coaching staff. But in light of everything that's happening, we have to wonder, what in the world? It's like nobody has an identity now. The coaching staff don't have one. The offensive don't have one. I don't get it. Tech also says Morris is just looking for scapegoats. And he has a staff full of them. He's the head coach, so he's going to be able to do that. Why Zach Robinson? Why he's not pointing the finger at Zach Robinson? I mean, he says we got out coached, right? So who got out coached? You lose 30-0. Who got out coached? 0 points. Not even a field goal. You didn't even get down to the opposing team's 30. No shot at the no shots at the end zone. Not one. So who got out coached? I don't get it. John says, watching this show from Galveston, Texas, win or lose, I bleed red and black, but I want to win now. I'm with you, John. I'm with you. Like I said, I've been a fan since 78. And I mean, I'm beyond ready. I'm beyond ready. Now, the thing about supporting this team, we have a lot of fans that have been here because of Michael Vick. We got some that's been here since Matt Ryan. And we have a lot of 2000 babies. Oh, I say baby. I'm sorry, y'all. 2000s fans. A lot of them. Post 2000. But we have quite a few that has been here since the inception of the Falcons into the city of Atlanta. I came along in 1978. Where we had Bart Bukowski. We had William Andrews, Billy White Shoes Johnson, Claude Humphreys, Buddy Curry. That's when I came along. You talking about the excitement in the city. The Atlanta's first shot at a playoff game, 1981. And this is why I hate the Dallas Cowboys more than any other team in the league. Yes, even more. I hate Dallas Cowboys worse than I hate the Saints. And that's tough. But the Dallas Cowboys literally broke my heart in 1981. A lot of y'all don't remember that game. We were going into the playoffs. We were heading to the playoffs. We were actually our next destination was going to the Super Bowl. And the Dallas Cowboys came here and swept that off from up under us. I cried like a baby. 10 years old. Cried like a baby. But I was that type fan. I was that type fan. I don't know. Appreciate you joining me there, Hollywood. But like I said, I hate this. I hate the Cowboys worse than I hate the Saints. And that, like I said, I mean, it is what it is. A lot of people say, man, the Saints are our rival. Yeah, they are. But I got tenure with them Cowboys. My wife's whole family. Her whole family. When I say the whole family, I mean everybody are Dallas Cowboys fans. But I told my wife, in here we're gonna rep Falcons, as you can see. Yeah, I wish we would a Dallas Cowboys star coming in this house. Not happening. No. Hollywood said we call Bryce the Reaper. I mean, I'm not taking nothing from Bryce. Bryce is a very good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. Now, his first season, it was suspect, but I blame the OC on that one. Bryce did make some rookie mistakes, like any old rookie quarterback will do. And he's that guy. And when he came in here and he beat us with the suspect team, no wide receivers. I mean, he has it now. He got Xavier Legette over there, Hunter Winfro, and now he got T-Mac. And T-Mac is good gracious alive, man. I wanted Hunter Winfro here. Truth be told, I wanted him here. I did a whole segment, a whole video on there. Y'all need to go back and watch that one and see why I wanted him here. I broke that one down. Yeah. I don't know. I think Terry said, I think they're trying to trade Tyler Algier. I think he's saying, well, I think we're trying to trade out Tyler Algier. Two teams have lost their main running backs. Me personally, if there was any way to keep all 3 running backs, I would. If there was any way to do it. But realistically speaking, with the way the injuries are happening now and people are restructuring their teams, trying to come off money, production wise, I wouldn't be a bit surprised we lose one of them. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. And Tyler Algier is that he deserves to be a starter. I mean, he really do. But he understands his role too. He understands his role. Now, then too, there might not be nobody calling. Maybe that's why we're not hearing. You're not going to hear the rumors anyway. But as long as he understands his role and he still goes out and produces, he's always going to be sought after. He's going to be somebody's going to come calling looking for him. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it's a team out of the AFC. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Tech says he can't fire Robinson. He already fired Lake. So both your DC and OC picks are garbage. Oh, you're garbage then. Our defensive coordinator, Jimmy Lake, yeah, that was hands down. That was an easy decision. Very easy decision. The defense, I mean, between now and then is night and day, not even close. So you can say that was a good decision to get to rid ourselves of Jimmy Lake. But this offensive coordinator that we have now, he really has to understand his playbook. And I'm wondering if he does. I mean, yeah, he probably has it. He probably came up along that Jimmy McVay tree, and he probably rode the coattail, with a lot of the winning coaches who use that playbook. I ain't gonna say a lot of them with the winning coach that used that playbook. But do he really understand it now? I mean, with all the weapons that we have now, it should be made easy because he doesn't have to figure out each person's ability. He knows what he has. He knows what each player or wide receiver can bring to the table. He knew that last season. But if we can't figure out how to put points on the board, and when I say points, I mean touchdowns, then everything else is just meaningless. All the dramatic plays getting down the field, because we've been doing that since before Matt Ryan. We've been getting down the field, but it's getting into that end zone. Once you get into that end zone, that red zone, your next step, you have to find the end zone. You have to. And if you can't do that with the weapons you got now, you are not made for this offense. You have no business calling plays in this offense. Now, granted, in the past, we may or may not have. Now, Matt Ryan, the only thing that kept him from performing as well as he did, or better than he did in the red zone, was he could not throw that back shoulder fade. If Matt Ryan was able to throw that back shoulder fade, he would be our quarterback today with Julio. If they could have connected time and time again on that play alone, he would be our quarterback today. Now, granted, I don't know where we got the money from to build this defense that we have now, but they would have second guessed themselves. We would have scored more points. We would have been that 30-plus point team on a weekly basis. But whether he was throwing to Julio, Roddy White, Matt Ryan could not throw that back shoulder fade. He either overthrew it, underthrew it, or threw it out, or took a sack. That would Matt Ryan play in the end zone. I mean, in the red zone. Yeah, I agree, Hollywood. We all hate the Cowboys. And interesting fact about the Cowboys too. They call themselves the America's team, and I think it was 70 prior to, I think it was like the 74-75 season, right? When that came about, Dallas Cowboys weren't supposed to be the America's team. The America's team offer was actually was supposed to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, because that was during that time when the Steel Curtain was there. The Steelers was on this play ball. I mean, this Super Bowl run, beating everybody. They were the team to beat then. And the film director, I forgot the director guy who was going to do the film, but there was a movie that's supposed to come out about America's team. And he went initially to the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the owner was like, no, we are not America's team. We are Pittsburgh's team. So he declined the offer. And in turn, the director of the film went to Dallas. Now, lo and behold, the film never even came out. But Dallas held on to that America's team mentality. So yeah, Dallas missed me with that. They can have it anyway, either way it go. I don't care, but I just want to hurt some of these Dallas Cowboys fans who think that it was the fact that they started winning that they become America's team, that they've got a fan base that they become America's team. No, sorry. John says, I'm with you. I hate the Cowboys and I live in Texas. That's tough. And Texas is all about football. So when you're in Texas and you don't like the Cowboys, oh my goodness. Yeah, that says a lot. That says a lot. But so here we are. We made excuses, right? Defensively, we couldn't ask for it better. We can't ask for it better. We have the defensive coordinator. We have the defense we look for that we wanted. But are we really going to allow these rookie receivers, rookie players, running back or otherwise, to continue to make a name for themselves when it comes to playing us? They have a career day. Tampa rookie receiver, what his name? Ibuka. He came in and had a field day. T-Mac came in and had a field day. Now, J.J. McCarthy, we had him on the run, but if our defense had not held up, J.J. would look pretty doggone good, considering all we did was kick field goals. I don't know, man. Our offense is there's something about our offense that is not right. And again, it comes back to coaching. Because any other team with this offense, guys, and it's not like, and people say, well, we're not giving Penix time to throw. Then what did that tell you? Coaching has to come in and make adjustments. You have to make the adjustments. If your plays down the field are not working, your run game is not working, you have to make adjustments. You have the players to do it. You don't keep doing the same thing and hoping that a play breaks out. Bijan Robinson is going to make plays himself. He's going to make those plays. But when you need your passing game and things are not working, you have to make adjustments. During that game, and I had the stats. I don't know where I put them, and I'm sorry, guys. But during that game, we saw nothing but curl routes, screens, and what else? These little short passes out in the flat. Nothing across the middle, nothing going downfield to open up the offense. Curl routes, screens. And then we doing screens with receivers. I don't know. I don't know. Where's the creativity? Where's the adjustment? I don't know. I mean, at this point, I feel like if I had that playbook with this team, and like I said, I'm a defensive guy. I feel like I can go in and do a better job. I mean, that's just the way I feel. I know. I mean, I know NFL is one of the things you can just. It's not a video game. I don't play video games, so, but I'm having a hard time believing that we have the playbook that we have, players that we have, and we cannot put that together on the field and come up with better production. I'm having a hard time with it. And why? Because I'm looking at what was going on. Well, there goes my laptop. I'm looking at what was going on at the end of the season last year. I'm looking at what we had in camp this year. Now, we didn't add to the team, not very much, but we still have the same players. That tells me two things. You did not prepare your team, and your offensive coordinator does not. There's no variation in his play calling. More appreciate you joining me, fam. He said we clipped those dirty birds. Yeah, y'all did. Y'all did. Hats off to the Carolina Panthers. I mean, they came in and stole one from us. They did what they supposed to do. I mean, you can't take nothing from that. I'm not discrediting nothing that they did, but I am discrediting our coaching. The way we're coaching right now, anybody can come in and beat us, and the road does not get easier the next 3 games. I mean, I really don't see how the way we're coaching now, unless Raheem Morris is trying to play chess with the league, I don't get it. But why even go that route? Everybody already got film on Penix. Everybody has film on Drake London. Everybody has film on your defense. I mean, on your offense. Everybody's going to gear up their defense, prepare their defense to play your playbook. And right now, with your suspect play calling, you're predictable. You're making the defensive coordinators, opposing defensive coordinators, you're making their job easy. You're making their job easy. I mean, I wasn't, with the Carolina Panthers scoring 30 points on us, what's to stop Buffalo for scoring 40, 50? We cannot play Buffalo like that. We can't. We cannot play Washington like that. Even with Marcus Mariota or Jaden Dane, whoever's going to be the quarterback, either one of those two, we cannot play them like that. We have to find the end zone. We have to keep their defenses on the field. So Zach Robinson, are you going to be held accountable? Of course. He needs to be. Raheem needs to be held accountable because he brought Zach Robinson here on that friendships thing. And here's the thing, guys. As you cannot, when your job and livelihood is on the line, granted, you want to look out for friends, but I've learned personally, you cannot mix the two, business and friendship. You cannot mix the two. I've learned that personally. I had to learn the hard way. You cannot. Dion did it perfect. Dion did it perfect. You couldn't. I'm talking about perfect script. Dion went to Jackson, surrounded himself with coaches that know what they're doing. He had a plan. He introduced it. He went and got the people that going to make sure that plan came into fruition, and he did that. Went to Colorado, same thing. He added a couple of coaches. They gave him more money. He added a couple of coaches. Whether they be coordinators, he brought in the right people. And these weren't all friends. These are people who knew what they were doing, who knows how to bring out the best in their position. And look at him now. Now, is he ready to play on the big stage? No, he's not. But he said that in his interview. Give me 5 years, and I have my team ready to play on that stage. And right now, he's doing that. And this is where Raheem dropped the ball. He brought in a friend, Jimmy Lake. He brought in a friend, Zach Robinson. I mean, he himself is not that winning guy. Raheem Morris is not that winning guy. He was always on the coattail of somebody else's who is winning. And in turn, it made him look like he knew what he was doing, or it made him look like he was capable of handling a head coaching position. Now, like I said, I'm not knocking, because I wanted him here as a head coach, because I thought he was ready. I don't know. Black says ZR just thought the Panthers suck and did not prepare well for the game. I absolutely agree, Black. I absolutely agree. He did not prepare well at all. In no phase of the game. We got beat in every aspect of the game. And as well as the defense played, we got beat at that too. Hence the 30 points. But like I said, how long do you expect your defense to hold up? Now people say, well, it's a learning curve. Yeah, but that's what last season was for. That what preseason, the mini camp is for. So what got them prepared to play the last 4 games of the season as opposed to the first 4 games of this season? What's the difference? What happened? Somebody explain that to me. That's the part that's getting me. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. You're still the same receivers, same quarterback, same running back, with the addition of one great running back in Nathan Carter. Same tight ends. You actually added 2 tight ends that could be beneficial to you. Your O-line is still the same without, we lost our center, Drew Dahlman, to the Chicago Bears. We lost Caleb McGarry to injury. But the offensive line is playing pretty doggone good, you ask me. Now, granted, there are a few times where Penix, had pressure. But for overall, I give him a B. I give him a high B. You can count on one hand how many times he's been sacked, right? Nowhere near to what it was last season. And I think they're only going to get better. If our offense played Minnesota's defense, if our offensive line rather played Minnesota's defense as well as they did, our offensive line is ready. They are there. So they're getting there. Let's put it like that, because they still have a few things to work on. Like I said, up through the middle, I think that's where the last sack came from on Penix. I think it's 2 sacks on Penix that came right up the middle. So, but either way, guys, sacks are going to happen, right? But overall, our offensive line is where I'm not going to say is where they want to be, where they need to be, but they are gelling. They are establishing that chemistry. I don't know. Terry says, I know Mr. Blank likes Nate Carter. You can have Bijan, let's see, you can have Bijan put Nate Carter up under his wing, and Bijan is always talking to Nate. And that's what I like about Bijan. That's what I like about Bijan. When you look over on that sideline, Nate Carter, Bijan, and Tyler Algier are sitting right, either standing side by side or sitting side by side. And they're always talking. And that's what you want out of a player like Bijan. He's not a veteran, no, but he's that type of player. He's humble. He just goes out and get the job done. He does what's asked of him. John said, the next coach I would like to see, Mr. Blank, we need to get Gary Kubiak out of retirement. He has taken over a team he coached to the playoffs. Kubiak's a good guy. But I think Terry Fontenot and Arthur Blank is going to stick with that. What is it? That youth for the future. They trying to build for the future, right? Kubiak, I think where was he coaching at? He was coaching that with the Bears, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But Kubiak is a good offensive coordinator, but he might make a good head coach too as well. But just because, and this goes back to what I was saying in another earlier podcast, that just because you're a good offensive coordinator does not mean you're going to make a good a good head coach. Just because you're a good defensive coordinator don't make you a great head coach. We've seen timeless examples of this. We've seen it happen many times. Where coaches step up, a coordinator step up to be the head coach and find out that they're in over their head. And right about now, I'm thinking the same thing about Raheem Morris. It ain't as easy as he thought it was going to be. But that's one of those things people say, well, this is a young team. We got time. We got 14 games. You don't want to take 14 games to figure out where you need to be or where your team needs to be. I mean, come on, guys. Let's be honest with it. We aren't the only young team in the league. We aren't the only young team that has a very young quarterback or rookie quarterback. When you look at teams like Washington, I mean, even the Browns. Now even the Browns pulled out a win yesterday against the number one team in my book, the number one team in the league. They beat the Green Bay Packers. Now, granted, the Browns defense stepped up and did what they're supposed to do. But it's like everyone tried to tell me, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. No matter how you get it, you either win by an inch or win by a mile. A win is a win. A L is a L, a W is a W. You talking about the Cleveland Browns? Who's got all kind of, y'all know what's going on up there. Y'all know what's going on up there. You see it. I don't get it. I mean, so where do we go from here? Black says, I wanted Raw here too. I will give him until the end of the season. I will, to be honest with you, Black, I'll be surprised if he makes it that far. Wins by week. Next week, week after, I will be surprised he make it that far. That's just me, though. But I know it's realistic. He's going to be here. And why I know he's going to be here? Because there's no contingency plan post Raheem Morris. If he fails, who will we go grab? Who do we get? And I can, you know what? And I'm surprised. I really am surprised to hear people still say we should have gotten Belichick. I'm real surprised at it. Guys, you see what Belichick is doing over in Carolina. I've never been a fan of Belichick. I think Tom Brady made Belichick. People say, well, no, Belichick went and got Tom Brady. No, Tom Brady made New England. Tom Brady made Belichick. Belichick won one divisional playoff game, and everybody think he's that coach. Or should I say he done it on two teams, but they think he's that coach. Tom Brady was all New England. You may as well call him the Tom Brady Buccaneer. I mean, the Tom Brady Patriots. He couldn't win the big game pre Tom Brady. He couldn't do nothing post Tom Brady. I call it what it is, but everybody had their opinion on that one. I don't know. Black says that O-line is still a B O-line on average. We are good O-line. I agree, bro. I agree. Let's put it like this. We have something to build on. Is it the 2016 O-line? No. But the 2016 team was once that 2014 and 15 team. In the same position where we are now. We have some good pieces in place. And it took one, maybe two players to bring in to shore up that offensive line. Alex Max was one of them. And like I said, this offensive line is going to be there. They're going to protect Penix. They're going to protect him. And the fact that we have not went to that 2 tight end set with the rookie quarterback like Penix, who needs just a little bit more time, considering what happened in Carolina, just a little bit more time to get our receivers down the field. If we want to utilize his cannon that we say that he has. But if we need more time, we got to bring in some blockers. And even let's just say our receivers downfield are not open. They just say they're not open. You mean to tell me Kyle Pitts is covered? You're not even considering him? We saw it against Carolina. Kyle Pitts was so open so many times, guys, coming across that middle on that snap. I mean, I don't know what was going on. Sunday's game was just one of those games. It's like you had to just sit back and watch because there was no answer. There were plenty of questions, but you just couldn't figure it out. Like Sunday was just totally off. But it goes back to coaching. You have to make the adjustments. And the thing it is, Carolina was not taking away the deep threat. We chose not to go there. We chose not to go there. When all of your throws were under 15 yards, all of your 10 yards or less, all of them, you choosing not to go deep. Everybody in the league knows the kind of arm that Penix has. Everybody. So they're going to challenge Penix to make those short throws. They're going to challenge him to make it. They're going to see whether or not he could take a little bit off the ball with that cannon arm that he has. Take a little bit off the ball to make those throws, those short throws, the throws in the middle. He can make them, but most defenses are going to challenge him there. John says Gary Kubiak's tree coaches in the league: Green Bay, San Francisco, Houston, Texans. That's a good resume. I like that. That's a very good resume. And the fact that he's had time to mature in his coaching, he's probably be better than what he was when he was with Green Bay or San Francisco. I'm sure he's learned a lot. I'm not at this point, guys. I'm so frustrated right now. I'm not even opposed to Jeff Ulbrich becoming the head coach. I'm not even opposed. Now, Jeff Ulbrich's coaching record is not impressive. I don't even think it's as impressive as Raheem Moore's. But he had that experience at head coaching. You saw the turnaround when he did go to head coaching. When he was with the Jets. The one thing that hindered any progress with the Jets, him and the Jets, was Aaron Rodgers. And everybody know Aaron Rodgers was a handful. Not only that, he was facing a coaching staff that he did not bring in up at the Jets. So his coaching staff was not working with him to better the Jets at no phases. But here, I think everybody loves Jeff Ulbrich. So like I said, I'm so frustrated at this point, I wouldn't be opposed to having Jeff Ulbrich become the head coach. I mean, guys, what could be lost? I mean, we're only 4 games in, guys. We're only 4 games in, and I'm 3 games in, and they just not looking promising. Am I changing as a fan? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Been here, done that. Terry says Josh Blank looks like he's not play when take over for Father's Super Bowl. Is all it's going to be. I'm not understanding what you're saying there, bro. Josh Blank looks like he's not played and take over for father. Super Bowl is all it's going to be. Oh, you saying the son wants off the blank? I got you. That's a ways from now though. That's a ways from now. But I got you on that. Railroad, what's happening, brother? He says Bryce Young is 726. 3 of his wins have come from the Falcons. Yeah. Now that's something else. That's something else right there. Yeah. Wow. But he's a young quarterback. And you see the growth with him. And you see, I'm saying now you don't see the growth, you see the possible growth with him. You see the potential, right? If he gets coached up, Bryce Young is going to be a very good quarterback. Bryce Young is the epitome of a quarterback, a rookie quarterback coming into the NFL making mistakes. Everybody can't be a Jaden Daniels. Everybody can't be a Josh Allen, right? So Bryce Young just happened to be that quarterback that's a rookie that's going to make mistakes, and it's showing. I mean, granted, Michael Penix is the rookie. He's a rookie himself. But I think our offensive coordinator is the one holding Penix back. Black says Robert Gritter becomes off a little jivey, like a jive falcon, or dare I say jive turkey. That's my head coach, but he's screwing up though. I hear you, brother. And here's the thing. As fans, Falcon fans, we can talk about our team, but we're not going to let nobody else talk about them. We're going to come to his defense at all costs, right? So, but we have to hold accountability too when we see them messing up. Are we going to air it? Of course. We are the Falcon fans. I know people jump on me all the time, say, man, you dogging the team. Yeah, I've earned that right to do it. Falcon fans have earned that right to do it. We haven't won a Super Bowl. We have earned that right. Outside of threatening somebody's life, we've earned that right to do it. I've been a fan since 1978 and have given the Falcons a bunch of money, a lot of money. This is my office. You ought to see the man cave. I've given them a lot of money. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about them. Win, lose, or draw. I'm going to talk about them. Now, seemingly, it seems like the Falcons are actually hearing our comments. But it seems like when we get a lot of people talking about the Falcons like that, the Falcons make adjustment, and you see it in the game. I don't know who they're paying attention to, but you see it in the game. They make the adjustments. Are they going to make the adjustments from Carolina? Who knows? But I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, you're going to have bad games. You're going to have bad games. It's going to come more often than enough. But it's how you look. I mean, it's one thing to have a bad game, being prepared and have a bad game, than being unprepared and have a bad game. Don't be both. It's going to look like your team is in like on a rebuild. You can't be both. Now, when I made my predictions this year, I predicted that we were going to go and do the same thing we did last year in this division and split one with Carolina and sweep the rest of this division. Obviously, it's not going to be the case this year. But it could have been. We could have actually swept this division. Tampa Bay was not unbeatable. Tampa Bay was not unbeatable. But if the Falcons if they don't like the comments when the Falcons come at them, when Falcon fans come back at the Falcons, then give us something to talk good about. It's time for some more winning seasons. It's time for a winning culture here in Atlanta. It's past time. You dropped the ball with Vic. Oh, let me take that back. We dropped the ball when the Rankin Smith brothers used this team as a tax write-off. The Rankin Smith brothers didn't want absolutely. They were just here. There was no identity for the team. There was no identity for what. No idea for the future. They were just here. They were like, hey, we got a football team in Atlanta. That was it. They didn't want to go build a team for the future because you didn't see the money go out. You didn't see players that wanted to come here and play and be the superstar in Atlanta. You didn't see that. It wasn't until Arthur Blank took over this team where you start seeing the mentality in Atlanta change for what they want for the Falcons. I mean, we don't went from owning the Fulton County Stadium to having outside investors actually build a dome that we're still paying for to Mercedes-Benz, where outside investors and tax money is paying for. So it is kind of changing. All we have to do now is bring in the wins that we can very well get. So going into that last question I asked, what now? Where do we go from here? Penix has to start making plays with his feet. Bottom line. Are we looking for a Michael Vick 2.0? No, absolutely not. But he cannot sit there in that pocket. He has to roll out, do something. He has to. He has to go under center. Play action has to become a bigger part of this game. Get him out of that pistol. I don't know. Do we know any quarterback that works in that pistol and having a bang out year where they're solely in the pistol or in the shotgun? Get Penix under center so that man can navigate, so he can orchestrate. Release him. Let him go. Washington did it perfect with Jaden Daniels. By the way, I wanted Jaden Daniels here before we got Penix. But Washington did it perfect. They played to Jaden Daniels' strength, and it's working. Now, granted, Jaden Daniels was a little thinner than what a little small, but I was looking at how that man performed on the field. And Penix is in that same category outside of his known injuries. Put that man on the center. Bring in more play action. And let that man rip. Now, every play can't be made going downfield. Every play can't be seen can be utilizing his cannon of an arm. But let that man orchestrate. That man he's ready. He's ready. I know he's a rookie, but he is ready. The only thing that scares me is that little sidearm looking throw that he has. It's not like over the top. It's kind of sidearm, but he's not the only quarterback that throws like that. Rick, what his name? Mahomes, he throws like that. But Penix is ready. Get some variation in your offensive play calling. Raheem Morris has to step up, stop all that smiling and carrying on. And for the life of me, somebody go get that man some khakis. Go get him some khakis. Get him out of those capri pants. Stop showing all 32 of your teeth and your gums. And coach your team. Game manage this team. Stop using those timeouts like it's like it's on top of top secret invention or something. Use them where needed. If you need to use them, use them. But stand up, be a coach. Stop playing to this social media thing. Stop trying to have all the right answers in these press conferences, after post-game press conferences. Coach your doggone team, man. I mean, for you to get up there and say you're not worried about Michael Penix's attitude, you should be. He's a young quarterback that you've placed a franchise on. That man's weight is heavy. What at the very least, we do not want what happened to Justin Fields to happen to Michael Penix. You remember what happened to Justin Fields? He got so frustrated up there in Chicago that after every game, he was sitting on the bench. Everybody else going into the locker room. He's on the bench with his helmet on, with his head down. When I saw Michael Penix sitting on the bench like that after that Sunday's loss, guys, that is not where you want your quarterback, your orchestrator, your captain, your field general. That is not where you want him to be. You want him with his head held high, still engaging with his team. Everybody was coming by trying to give him a high five or a dap or whatever, shake his hand, hit him on his helmet. He kind of half-heartedly put his hand out there to greet his teammates. That is not where you want him to be. Granted, I understand you lost a game. You just got embarrassed. You're going to have losses, but you still want to be there for your team. Right? So going forward, Zach Robinson, get some variation in your plays. Utilize the full. I mean, you have to use that playbook, guy. Get out the back of that playbook because it seems like you're still in preseason. Raheem Morris, stand up and coach your team. Stop listening to what people are saying. Get up, coach your team. Jeff Albrecht, continue what you're doing with your defense, guy. I mean, hats off to the defense. There are some still, defense is not going to be perfect. No team is going to be perfect. And I'm not expecting them to be. But if we keep playing the way we're playing now, or we keep playing the way we played at Carolina, we're going to be out of the picture more sooner than later. And I know everybody have their own separate expectation of how this season is supposed to go for us. But Sunday's game was a tough pill to swallow for us. But guys, if you've enjoyed this content, enjoyed this podcast today, give me a like. I surely appreciate it. You guys joining in. I know it's past the time the game. We're 2 hours in, guys. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe to the channel. And I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, YouTube, and we'll soon be on Spotify as soon as I get that account set up. But guys, continue to stay with me. We got a lot that's going to be talking about going through the season. We're going to have a lot to talk about. I mean, it's going to be that type of season. I'm highly hopeful that we get this thing turned around so we have more positive things to talk about. This pop-up show, I didn't want to be all negative either, but at the same time, we do have to hold accountability, and that's where we are with this show. So thank you guys once again for joining me. And as always, continue to rise up. All right, Pandemic family, that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in and sharing your passion for our Atlanta Falcons with us. Your energy and support are what make this community truly special. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a 2 thumbs up, leave a comment below with your thoughts, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our exciting content. And seriously, don't forget to hit that notification bell right next to that subscribe button so that you'll be the first to know when we drop new videos about our beloved Dirty Birds. And as always, continue to rise up, and we'll see you in the Super Bowl.